up into our down dog. Spread the fingers out as wide as you can. Press the pad of each finger down into the floor. Curl the toes underneath. On your exhale, roll back into down dog. Be nice and gentle on the hamstrings for our first down dog. So pedaling the feet out. You can come up onto the toes on both feet and then sink the heels down. Whatever you need to do to work the legs out. Next exhale, drop the knees down, come to your table. And then we're going to take a little mini chaturanga, so slowly lowering yourself down to the mat. Keep the elbows in close. Inhale, roll up into cobra. Draw the shoulder blades back. Exhale, release down. Pressing up through table. On your exhale, reach the tailbone back, lengthen through the spine, and then you can settle yourself back into child's pose. Inhale, drawing up into table. You're going to make that circle one more time. So exhale, lower yourself down to the mat. Inhale, roll up into cobra. Lifting the chest, draw the elbows to the rib cage. Exhale, release. Inhale, press into the palms, come up to your table. Lengthen back through the tailbone and then settle into child. Roll forward into our table and then curl the toes underneath. Take your exhale back into down dog. As you hold your down dog, you're going to find if your shoulders start to fatigue, what's going to happen is the first knuckle of the index finger is going to start to lift up off the floor. So just be mindful of that as you hold your down dog throughout class. Keep the thumb and that first finger pressing down into the floor. Open up here. Think about rolling the sitting bones, rolling the tailbone up toward the ceiling. Now let's take an inhale. Step right foot up between the hands. Starting out in our runner's lunge. And then exhale, drop the left knee down, release the toes. Let's take an inhale, sweep the arms up into Anjane. Now normally as we hold Anjane, we're trying to press the hips toward the front of the room just so long as that knee stays in line above the heel. I want you to pull back out of your lunge just slightly. Roll the tailbone underneath to lengthen the lower back and then press the hips to the front again. See if you can maintain that alignment in the pelvis as you come forward. What you're going to find is that it gives you a deeper stretch through the front of the left leg, through the hip flexors. Taking one more inhale, reaching up through the fingertips. On your exhale, release the hands down to the floor. Let's take the right hand to the inside of the right leg. We're going to come down into lizard pose. So on your exhale, start to sink the heart down toward the floor. You can bend the elbows. Just keeping the right knee nice and close to the right shoulder. And then the back leg, it's up to you. You can leave left knee down on the floor. If you want a little more intensity in the stretch, curl the toes underneath. And then try and sink the hips down. Next inhale, starting to walk yourself back up onto the palms. Take the right hand to the outside of the right leg. And then use your inhale, step the left leg all the way up. Exhale over into forward bend. Just like we do in our down dog, when you're in forward bend, think about rolling the sitting bones, rolling the tailbone up toward the ceiling. Take an inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to come up through our chair pose on our way up to mountain. So take an exhale, sink the hips down toward the floor. On your inhale, arms sweep up to the ears. Exhale, roll the tailbone back, scoop the lower belly in. Sink your weight back into your heels. Make sure you can wiggle your toes. On your exhale, hands come to the heart. Inhale, reach straight up to mountain. Exhale, bring your hands down to the heart. Now we're going to go up into a balance. Take an inhale, lift up onto the toes. Feeling all the muscles in the legs working, hugging in toward the bone. Exhale, sink the heels down into mountain pose, Tadasana. Spread the toes out. So press the pads of each of the 10 toes down into the floor, roll the shoulders back. One more deep breath here. And next inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Now for today, on your inhale, we're going to come halfway up. And if it's okay with you, you can leave the hands on the shins, or you can take the hands and hold on to the hip crease, right on the front of the hip. Now what I want you to do is just like we do for our normal halfway up stretch, reach the crown of the head forward and the tailbone back. But it's like you're giving yourself a little adjustment. The hands are pressing the hips back, so you're getting some extra lengthening through the spine. On your exhale, fold forward, release the arms down. We'll make our way over to the left side. So inhale, right leg goes back into our runner's lunge. Just a breath here, getting the hips ready to start opening. On your exhale, right knee settles down, release the toes out flat. Take an inhale up to Anjane. Do our little adjustment for the hips here. So pull back slightly out of your lunge. Roll the hips back, tuck the tailbone underneath, and then come forward. Feel that extra stretch through the front of the right thigh. And the arms come back up. One more inhale, lengthening through the side body, reaching up through the fingertips. On your exhale, settle the hands down to the mat. And we'll take left hand to the inside of the left leg. On your exhale, start to settle the heart down toward the floor for lizard pose. Finding a variation that works for you with the back leg. You can leave the leg just like it was in Anjane, with the knee and the top of the foot flat. If you want a little bit more intensity in that stretch, curl the toes underneath, lift the knee up. Moving through the body into the hips. One more deep breath on the side. On your inhale, pressing into the palms, lifting the chest up. Take the left hand to the outside of the left foot. And then we'll step left leg back, press the hips back into down dog. your inhale, roll forward into either a high plank or knee down plank. Exhale, chaturanga, lower down to the floor. Inhale, roll up into cobra. Exhale, roll down. Inhale, press into the palms. Exhale, length back through the tailbone. And settle into child's pose. Now let's take an active child's pose for the arms. Use your inhale to walk the fingers out away from you. So we already did some nice opening for the side body. Ribs and the waist should feel nice and stretched out. You can really get a good reach through the arms. Once the arms are out as long as they can get, we're going to lift up onto the fingertips. Make a little tent with the hands. Now, staying in your child's pose, still thinking about sinking the chest down toward the floor. By making that nice tent with the fingers, we get an extra stretch through the back of the wrists, through the shoulders. On your exhale, settle the palms down toward the floor. And then we'll use an inhale. Pull forward into table. Curl toes underneath. Exhale back to down dog. Either stay here holding your down dog or take an inhale. Right leg lifts up into dog split. As the right leg lifts up, use your exhale. Sink the left heel down toward the floor. Hips are still squared to the floor, and the weight in the hands should be even so that we don't stress one shoulder more than the other. On your exhale, bend the right knee, draw it underneath the body. Use the abs to pull that right foot up in between the hands. So we're back up into our runner's lunge. You can either stay here on the ball of the left foot to come up for crescent lunge, or if you want, you can drop left knee to get ready for Anjane. So either lunge you like. We're going to take our inhale, lift up. Now working on that alignment in the pelvis. Take that little tuck, draw the lower abs in, length through the tailbone. If you're up in your crescent lunge, what I want you to do is bend the left knee and then try to do that little roll back in the pelvis, and immediately you're going to feel stretch right through the left quadricep. So then try and straighten the leg as much as you can. You might even feel like you get to a point where you want to keep a little bend in that knee for now. Inhale, and then exhale, twist the hands over to the right shoulder. Inhale, pull back up to center. And your exhale, release the hands down. Left foot steps up to knee the right. Exhale, forward back.